Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. My name is Veda and this is The Simple Budget. Here on my channel I show you how my family is using the zero-based budgeting method in order to maintain a simplified financial life. If that sounds like content that you're interested in, I would love it if you would hit the subscribe button and join our little crew here. With that being said, let's get into today's video. All right, well, hello everyone and happy Friday. I hope that your week was good. I think I mentioned to you guys in my last video that my brother and brother-in-law were coming into town this week, and they stayed with us for like 1.5-ish days, and we had a really good time with each other. So much fun. And so I'm spending probably the weekend just kind of cleaning up from that. You know, when somebody comes to stay at your house, there's like extra laundry and bedding and just general cleaning anyway. So I'll be cleaning up from that, but definitely worth it because, you know, time with family is always fun. So anyways, today's video is going to be the weekly check-in. And if you happen to be new around here, welcome, hi. The weekly check-in is a video that I post every single week where we reconcile the non-cash purchases from the last week for categories that we actually do cash stuff for. So we just like to make sure that we're keeping our budget in check and holding ourselves accountable and staying in budget for all of our different budgeting categories, especially the ones that we cash stuff for, because if we use our debit card to purchase something from a category where we cash stuff it, we have to go ahead and pay that money back to the bank so we're not having any blips on our checking account. So that's what we do. I know it's a little confusing initially, but if you spend enough time watching content on my channel, especially because this is just how we make our budget function, all the stuff will kind of sort of make sense over the course of time. So anyways, why don't you be a little louder out there?
Okay.
I'm gonna go ahead and this is my budget binder. I make these little teller slip pads. They are available in my Etsy shop. It's a post-it pad that has 50 pages of teller slips on them, so almost enough for one stuffing every single week. My Etsy shop is always linked below in my description box, and basically if it's handmade here on my channel, I am probably the one who's made it. So dashboards, the budget planner, all of my cash envelopes, all that kind of stuff, always available in my Etsy shop. And I have some seasonal items available as well. Now, if you wanted some dashboards that were a little bit more autumnal, I have those up in my shop now as well. So anyways, let me go ahead and jump back to my expense tracking pages here so that we can go ahead and reconcile these purchases. And then what I'm gonna do now is zoom you guys in and we will go ahead and start chatting. Alrighty, so I've got you guys zoomed in here on my expense tracking sheet. Excuse me. This is available, by the way, in my budget planner, which you can get digitally. So it'll work, it's compatible with tablets. I also have a printed version available, and then you can just download this, specifically just the expense tracking sheet, and you can print it yourself. So if you're interested, that is available to you, but let's just go ahead and jump right in. I do tend to be a little chattier in these videos, so you just never know what you're gonna get when it comes to my weekly check-in. So first up, I'm just gonna warn you guys now, we actually had a lot of grocery purchases this week, and I basically won't be paying any of it back to the bank. I'll just be pulling it from what I stuff for the rest of the month, which works out. We're able to compensate for that actually this month in particular. So it'll all kind of sort itself out. But anyways, first up was a Sprouts visit. The total purchase was $30.57. And typically, if I was actually paying this physical money back to the bank, I would return $31. We usually round the change purchase up and return the next whole dollar up. Every now and then we'll round down, but for the most part we round up. And then my husband tracks this change in his spreadsheet so that he knows like down to the cent how much money, like extra money we have available. We kind of use it as like a buffer category or a miscellaneous expense category. We call it our virtual coin jar because technically this is just change that would be going into a coin jar if it was physical change. So anyways, that's how we handled that. Moving up, next was Whole Foods. We went over groceries this week because we had family coming into town, like I mentioned earlier. And so our grocery budget obviously took a little bit of a hit, but that's okay. We always are able to find ways of like nipping and tucking other areas of our budget to compensate for stuff like that from time to time. Anyways, the total purchase was $137.78. And if I was returning money, I would be returning $138 to the bank. Next up, so I was telling you guys, I spent from my own money personally to go somewhere with a friend of mine. It's sort of like a spa. It's called World Springs, and it's over on the Dallas side of the DFW area. Cannot recommend it to you enough. Basically, it's this sort of like outdoor hot springs, except for they're not hot springs. So they're different pools that are meant to mimic different pools and springs and oceans and things from other parts of the world. And based on the mineral content of whatever location that is. And so it's supposed to be like really good for a variety of different things, anti-inflammatory and digestive issues and arthritis issues. It's just like one of those things where depending on which pool you're soaking in, you're experiencing a variety of different benefits relevant to what the mineral makeup of that specific pool is. They also have cold plunges and infrared saunas, which is really fun too. I didn't do the cold plunge because I chickened out, but I did do the sauna. I sat in there and sweated my tushy off for quite a few minutes. So that was a fun experience. Highly, highly recommend it. Like I said, it's called World Springs over on the Dallas side of the DFW area. I'll go ahead and leave their website linked below. This isn't sponsored or anything. I just am telling you about an experience I had that was a good one. I don't even think they know I exist, but it was definitely an enjoyable experience. Just like lounging around for 3 hours in pools and saunas with a girlfriend. And so I did pick up, there are two different purchases actually from World Springs. One of them was for a drink, and then the other one was for an avocado toast. It was basic day that day, but I really love avocado toast. It's so good. So the drink purchase was $7.58, and I'll be returning $8 to the bank for that. And then the avocado toast purchase was $15.16, and I'll be returning $15 to the bank for that. Definitely worth it. Highly recommend. Next up was a Walmart purchase. This is actually coming from my husband spending money. He purchased himself a controller for his new PlayStation that he hasn't actually purchased yet. But the controller is here. They went on sale. I guess they're about to increase the price of them or something. So the total purchase was $68.20, and I'll be returning $68 to the bank. All right, there we had a little Mr. Simple interruption, which is just fine. Anyways, I think I moved on from his purchase. We are down at a Target purchase. This was like I needed to go and stock up on a couple of different house supplies. And they were having like a thing where if you spend a certain amount of money, you got a gift card back. So I figured I would just pop into Target and do it. The total purchase was $51.68. It is breaking down into two different categories, but it's not significant. Grocery was $5, and I'm not returning any grocery money to the bank. I'm just subtracting it from future stuffings, but still. And then the rest of it was household purchase for $46.68, and I'll be returning $47 to the bank. Although I do think we're a little bit deficient in this one too. But like I mentioned, and again, if this is confusing, just ask questions. Whenever we have overspent from 1 week to the next, we just subtract what we're going to spend for the rest of the month. We really try not to go over budget from month to month, but week to week, we don't really fuss too much about. The money is there to spend within that month, and so that's just kind of how we handle it. And then I'm just going to go ahead and flip over this page here. There we go. All right, and as you can see, we don't actually have that many remaining purchases. So we had an Amazon purchase from toiletries for $20.39. This was actually just a deodorant resupply for Mr. Simple, and I'll be returning $20 to the bank. Next up, we went to, this was actually when my brother and brother-in-law were in town. We took them to Melt Ice Cream, which is like sort of a local-ish chain of ice cream places. The total purchase was $49.92 because I bought everybody ice cream. We split it between Family Fun and Dine Out, so I'm returning $25 each from each of those categories. I mean, we separate, like it's $24.92 and $25, but $25 is going back from each category. And then last up, I popped into a place where we were to get some waters for my kiddos. And so that was $4.31. But technically, like we were going to pull it from Family Fun, but then Mr. Simple noticed that we had a pretty significant amount of money in our virtual coin jar. And so he just pulled it from that. So I don't have to return any of that money to the bank. So that is it for all of our purchases for this week. I'm going to actually zoom you guys back out, and then we'll get into the cash unstuffing. So I always, before we actually get into the unstuffing, I always add up the total amount of money that I should expect to have at the end of the unstuffing portion. I always zoom you guys through this because I'm just adding up money with a calculator, and that is not the content that we are here for. So I will add this up, and then we will go ahead and get into the unstuffing. Okay, so it's going to be $382 at the end of this. It's going to be actually significantly less than this because, like I mentioned, we won't be pulling any grocery money, but it's fine. Like I said, how we reconcile that is to just stuff it less in the weeks following that within the month. So let's jump in first to low priority sinking funds because we are actually pulling cash out of some of those envelopes today. Oh, hold on, let me make a note of this. So $382 is what I am sort of ish expecting, but I'll at least have a baseline for what to subtract from when I do that. So now let's go ahead and go in. So I'm pulling AN15 from mine. That's $23 from my spending. Oh, I don't have my cash tray. Oh, and I only have 20. All right, so I will fix that. I gotta get my cash tray. All right, I swear you'd think I was new to YouTubing. Okay, so I am returning $20, which means that I have a deficit. Wait, there you go. I have a deficit of 3, so I'm gonna just do subtract 3. And then I'll show you guys how I handle this because this is a relatively easy one. So let me go into my monthly funding plan because this is how we break it down. So since we have a little bit of extra time. So this is my monthly funding plan. So when I create my budget, so if you want to go ahead and check out my budget with me for the month of September, I'll go ahead and leave that linked for you now. After I create the budget, I then go ahead and create a funding plan. And so this is basically the setup for how I go about doing my cash stuffings on a weekly basis. And so whenever I have a deficit from week to week in any category, I just go ahead and make a note of it on the next stuffing. And so that's what I'm just going to go ahead and do here. So I need to subtract $3 from what I'm supposed to stuff in my next cash stuffing on Monday. And so that's kind of what helps me stay on track throughout the month. If you were wondering how I use my monthly funding plan sheet that's in my budget planner, that's how I go about doing this. And I've said this before, I don't even necessarily know that, like if I didn't have a YouTube channel, if I would do cash stuffing. I definitely love I think it's like a more fun aspect of budgeting, so I might still do it, but like that's why we plan out weekly stuffings with you guys as opposed to a bi-weekly stuffing because Mr. Simple is paid bi-weekly. But it's nice to be able to cash stuff every single week so that we have money in each of those categories of our budget every single week. That's just kind of how we go about doing it. But anyways, this is how I manage this. So for my second cash stuffing for the month of September, I will just stuff $3 less than what I had originally planned to do. That's how we handle a deficit from week to week, in case you were wondering. Okay, so, oops, I just bumped you guys. Sorry about that. And I think I nicked my nail. Okay, so I have actually $0 left in my envelope now, and I have reconciled those. Excuse me. Next up, we've got Mr. Simple's purchase. So there's just one from him, and I'll be returning $68 from his envelope. Oh wait, I think yeah. So 20, 40, 60. Shoot. I'm gonna have to move on because I don't have enough change here to put change back in his envelope. So we'll see if we can pop into another category to get a little bit of change before we come back into his. What else? Okay, let's check Family Fun and Dine Out. Those are both in here, and I'm returning 25 from each of those, or just 20 from Dine Out. So, yeah. All right, so I am gonna subtract 5 because I need, I was supposed to return 25 to Dine Out. I'll just stuff it less next week. Oh, here, that's the end of this. So $0 left, 25, and then off camera here, I'm just doing exactly what I showed you with mine, and I'm gonna subtract 5 from Dine Out in my next stuffing. And then Family Fun, I'm also returning 25. Family Fun is a little bit further back here, yeah. 10, 25. Oh, I have these too far forward. There we go. All right, and I have $11 left in Family Fun. Oops. Oh, there it is. All right, and then I think I still don't have ones. So let me go actually into high priority because I am going to be returning money from household and toiletries. Let's see what I have actually in here. Oh, here we go. So in household, 5, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So, okay, so I have a $32 deficit from household. There we go. And then, oh, let me make a note of that. And then let me go, oh, here. I do need to cross off that I actually reconciled that. Well, you guys, I just went to turn off my video recording to finish out my video, and I realized that an Amber Alert actually disrupted the recording of my video. So it stopped recording at the end there. Fortunately, I was toward the end. I was able to get the rest of my purchases pulled or reconciled in some capacity, and all of the cash that I pulled out met what I was expecting to have there. I'm so sorry that it got cut out and you guys didn't get to finish seeing the rest of it, but I promise you that you didn't miss anything thrilling. But I am still frustrated because it's super annoying when you're in the middle of working on something and then it gets disrupted, especially when I like to put out full content for you guys. So what I'm gonna do I'm sorry for the way that this panned out, is I'm gonna offer a giveaway. So for 5 of you, I'm gonna be giving away my little Post-it pads, my little floral Post-it pads. These. So these are available for sale in my Etsy shop if you're interested in them. But for 5 of you, as a thank you for putting up with the fact that this video did not go as planned, I am going to go ahead and give 5 of these away. So if the only thing that you need to do in order to, what's the word I'm looking for? Enter the giveaway. You have to be publicly subscribed to my channel. and just leave me a comment down below. I'm sorry, I was just totally distracted because I looked over to my right and there's like water dripping down from my roof, except for that it's not raining outside. It's bright and sunny. So I'm very, very confused by the water that I'm seeing. Anyways, all you have to do to be entered into my giveaway is to be publicly subscribed to my YouTube channel and just leave me a comment down below letting me know. Let's see. What do I want the comment to be? Leave me a comment down below letting me know how you started following me. Like, what was it? Like, did I show up randomly in your YouTube algorithm, or did you find me like over on Instagram? Let me know how you started following my channel. Like, what was it that prompted you to like hit the subscribe button? How did I show up in your feed? Basically, how did you hear about me here at the Simple Budget? And then that's it. I'm just going to choose 5 winners. And then I will announce all 5 of you in next week's weekly check-in. So anyways, thank you guys so much for your patience and understanding. I'm so sorry for the way that this video is ending. Super unplanned, but that's just life sometimes. Anyways, that's going to do it for me for today's video. And if you guys enjoyed it, I would love it so much if you would give me a thumbs up and leave me a comment down below. Regardless of whether or not you're entering the giveaway, I still like hearing from you. But go ahead and enter the giveaway. That's a super fun one. And I will be back here with you guys on Monday with the regular old fashioned weekly check-in, cash stuffing. It's the second cash stuffing for the month of September. And yeah, I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. We are laying low around here, which is really, really nice. I love a relaxing weekend with little to nothing on the agenda. That's always welcome. So anyways, I hope you guys have a good one. I look forward to being back here with you again on Monday, and I will see you then. Bye, everyone.